Go, 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 gorilla, go, nah, go.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Howard Hall. I've been involved in the camping industry for over 35 years. Today, I'm going to make a dark video about deaths that's happened at summer camp and how they could be prevented. So, with no further ado, let's get started. Okay. Most, if not all, of the accidents we're going to talk about today were preventable with just using some common sense. So, anyway. We're going to talk first about a counselor named Anna Rittenberg, and she was crushed at a campfire when a rotten tree branch fell down. Now, Anna passed away. Four other female counselors were hurt and taken to the hospital. But this tragic accident right here is so easy to avoid. Over the years of being a camp director, the first thing I always did is walk around the grounds and look for rotten branches that were sticking off trees or rotten trees themselves, and I had them removed. I would go through again after bad storms to see if there's anything there. So when you start camp at the beginning of the session and then after any major thunderstorms, walk through so you can avoid a tragic accident like this happening. So think ahead. Okay, 13-year-old Ethan Kaddish, that is from Loveland, Ohio. Ethan was struck by lightning while attending a camp. Ethan spent 145 days in the hospital after getting traumatic brain injury caused by the lightning. Here's another one. What can be done? This is easily preventable. And that's always check the weather. If your camp does not allow you to carry your cell phone, to keep a close eye on it, carry a radio with you and put a weather radio in the kitchen or the office where somebody is. And they can give you enough warning when some inclement weather is on the way. Now, if you're out in the open and there's nothing you can do, you cannot get to any shelter, what you want to do is have you and your camper squat down like you're a catcher in a baseball game. So you're crouched down on the tip of your toes and get as low to the ground as you possibly can. And the lower to the ground that you can get, the less likely you'll be struck by lightning. But the most important thing is don't lay down. Squat down like you're a catcher. This is something that should be part of your safety plan. If you're not told about it during training, ask your camp director for information on your emergency weather policies. Okay, this one right here just upsets me that it didn't happen. Nobody died in this accident, but some campers got very injured in it. And it was caused by an overloaded outlet in the cabin. And on top of that, the smoke detector in the cabin did not work. So this could have been avoided in a couple of ways. One, check the smoke detectors at the beginning of staff training in all of your buildings. Okay, that way you're guaranteed to know that they're going to work. The other thing is, at camps that service middle-income families, I guess, some of the traditional camps, their cabins are really old. And even if the wiring is up to date in them, if you've got 8 campers in your cabin and you've got curling irons plugged in, you're definitely going to have fans going in there at night. And it's way too easy to overload those circuits. So be very careful when you're plugging in things in your cabin so something like this don't happen. So anyway, remember, check the smoke detector at the beginning of staff training and don't plug in too many things into the outlets that you have in your cabin. And just by doing that, something like this could have been avoided. Okay, the next one I'm talking about hit really close to home for me because this happened at a camp that's about 10 miles from my house. The camp was located in Decatur, Michigan, and a 15-year-old boy from Chicago drowned while he was at camp. And the reason that this child drowned, again, is so easy to make sure that nothing like this happens. But anyway, they were swimming at 10 p.m. The camper went underwater, and due to darkness and the clarity of the water, they were not able to find him for quite a while. Now, the camp was held liable, but what should have been done, obviously, you know before I tell you, is you should not be swimming after dark unless you're in a pool that's lit up or you have bright lights at your waterfront. Okay? That could have avoided this situation entirely. Do not swim after dark. And if you remember the ACA, obviously you're going to abide by those regulations anyway. But here's a poor example of some bad decisions that came to a point to where some child drowned. Okay, here's another one. A teen almost perishes because of another faulty smoke detector. And this again was caused by an overloaded outlet in the cabin. And according to what I read, it was in Copake, New York. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But anyway, the smoke detector did not go off until the cabin was fully engulfed in flames. So again, how do you stop this? You don't overload the circuits. You check to make sure that the smoke detectors are operating properly during staff training. So we've got two of them there that we've ran into that could have been easily taken care of just by following common sense. I don't even know what else I can say.
Go, 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 gorilla, go